The Galactic Council had existed for 12,000 years. Its members included over 400 species from across the known universe. They had seen empires rise and fall. They had watched civilizations bloom and wither like flowers in an endless cosmic garden. They believed they understood everything about how the universe worked. They were wrong about humanity. Ambassador Thelric of the Varani Collective stood before the great circular chamber. His 4 eyes scanned the assembled delegates with practiced calm. Behind him, holographic displays showed a small blue planet spinning slowly in the darkness of space. Earth, the newest world to catch the Council's attention. "Fellow delegates," Thelric began, his voice echoing through translation devices worn by every species present. "We must discuss the human problem." The chamber filled with murmurs. Representatives shifted in their seats. Some had never even heard of humans before this meeting. Others had received troubling reports from their intelligence agencies. High Counselor Mevin raised one of her 6 arms for silence. The ancient Kelthiri female had led the council for 3 centuries. Her wisdom was legendary. Her patience was infinite. She gestured for Thelric to continue. "The humans have been spacefaring for only 200 years, Thelric explained. "In that time, they have colonized 47 worlds. They have built a fleet of over 800 vessels. They have developed weapons that our scientists struggle to understand." A ripple of disbelief passed through the assembly. The Vorani themselves had taken 3,000 years to colonize their first 10 worlds. How could such a young species accomplish so much so quickly? Ambassador Crix of the Mordani Empire rose from his seat. His reptilian scales gleamed under the chamber lights. "You exaggerate, Thelric. No species develops this fast. Your intelligence must be flawed." Thelric's 4 eyes narrowed. "I wish that were true. But our reports have been confirmed by 17 separate sources. The humans are not like us. They do not wait. They do not hesitate. They act." High Counselor Mevin leaned forward. "What do you propose we do about this situation?" "We should welcome them into the council," said Ambassador Yenli of the Surthan Communion. Her delicate wings fluttered with nervousness. "Make them our friends before they become our enemies. Friendship requires trust," Crix growled. "We know nothing about these creatures." "Then we should learn," Yenli replied. "Send diplomats. Open communication. Show them we mean no harm." The debate continued for hours. Species argued with species. Factions formed and dissolved. Some wanted peace. Others wanted observation. A small minority whispered about containment, about limiting human expansion before it threatened existing powers. Finally, High Counselor Mevin made her decision. "We will send a diplomatic delegation to Earth. We will offer friendship and membership in the Galactic Council. We will show these humans that they are not alone in the universe, and that peaceful cooperation benefits everyone." The assembly agreed. Committees were formed. Speeches were drafted. Cultural experts prepared presentations about council history and values. Everyone believed that humanity would be grateful for this invitation. Everyone assumed that the young species would be honored to join such an ancient and prestigious organization. None of them knew what was happening on Earth. Admiral Sarah Chun stood in the command center of the United Earth Defense Fleet. Her gray hair was pulled back in a tight bun. Her eyes, dark and sharp, studied the tactical displays covering every wall. Around her, officers worked at their stations with quiet efficiency. "Status report," she commanded. General Marcus Webb stepped forward. His uniform bore the insignia of Earth's ground forces. "All planetary defense systems are online. Orbital stations are fully armed. Ground troops are positioned at strategic locations across all 47 colonies. And the fleet? 812 vessels ready for deployment. Another 140 will be completed within the month. Crews are trained and eager." Admiral Chun nodded slowly. She had spent 40 years preparing for this moment. Ever since humanity had detected the first signs of alien civilizations, she had known this day would come. The universe was not empty, and it was not necessarily friendly. "Show me their approach vector," she said. The main display shifted. A cluster of alien vessels appeared, moving through space toward Earth. Their designs were elegant, almost artistic. They looked nothing like human ships. "The Council delegation?" Webb explained. "Approximately 200 vessels. They claim they come in peace." "They always claim that," Chun replied. "What do we know about their capabilities?" "Their weapons technology appears to be roughly equivalent to ours. However, their defensive systems are weaker. Their ships are not designed for sustained combat, because they have never needed to fight," Chun mused. "They have had peace for so long that they have forgotten what war looks like." She turned to face her officers. These men and women had trained their entire lives for this possibility. They had studied every piece of information humanity had gathered about alien civilizations. They knew things about the galaxy that the Council itself did not know. "The Council believes they are coming to offer us membership," Chun said. "They believe we will be grateful. They believe we will accept their laws and customs without question." A young officer raised her hand. "Admiral, should we not at least hear what they have to say?" Chun smiled slightly. It was not a warm expression. "We will hear them, Lieutenant. But we will not be unprepared while we listen." She pressed a button on her console. Throughout Earth's solar system, defense platforms activated. Weapon systems powered up. Thousands of missiles loaded into their tubes. The planet that had given birth to humanity transformed into a fortress. "The Council has ruled this galaxy for 12,000 years, Chun continued. "They have absorbed hundreds of species into their organization. They have imposed their will on countless worlds. They believe they can do the same to us. Can they?" Webb asked quietly. "Only if we let them." The Council delegation arrived at Earth 3 days later. Their ships emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, a display of order and discipline that they believed would impress the primitive humans. High Ambassador Torvik led the delegation. He was ancient, even by Kelthari standards, with skin the color of polished silver. He had negotiated with 100 species during his long career. None had ever refused the Council's offer of membership. "Begin transmission," he ordered his communication officer. "Channel open, High Ambassador." Torvik straightened his ceremonial robes. He had practiced this speech many times. The words were perfect, designed to convey friendship while also making clear the benefits of joining the Council. "People of Earth," he began, "I am High Ambassador Torvik of the Galactic Council. On behalf of 400 species and 12,000 years of peaceful cooperation, I extend to you an invitation. Join us. Become part of something greater than yourselves. Together, we can build a future of harmony and prosperity." He paused, waiting for a response. The humans would surely be overwhelmed by this offer. They would stammer their thanks. They would ask for time to consider such an honor. The response came faster than expected. A human female appeared on Torvik's display. She wore a military uniform covered in medals and insignia. Her expression was calm but completely unimpressed. "High Ambassador," she said, "I am Admiral Sarah Chun of the United Earth Defense Fleet. Your offer is noted." Torvik blinked. "Noted? Do you not understand what we are offering? Membership in the Council is the highest honor any species can receive." "I understand perfectly," Chun replied. "You are offering to absorb our civilization into your organization. You are offering to make us follow your laws and customs. You are offering to limit our expansion to territories you approve. These are not limitations," Torvik protested. "They are the foundations of peaceful coexistence. For you, perhaps. But humanity did not build 800 warships to follow someone else's rules." Torvik felt a cold sensation spreading through his body. This was not how negotiations were supposed to proceed. "Admiral, I urge you to reconsider. The Council's resources are vast. Our military capacity is overwhelming. Resistance would be foolish." Chun laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. High Ambassador, your delegation of 200 ships is currently surrounded by 300 of ours. Your defensive systems have been scanned and analyzed. Your weapons are targeted and tracked. If you believed you were coming to negotiate with a primitive species, you were mistaken. The tactical display on Torvik's ship suddenly updated. Hundreds of human vessels had appeared from nowhere, surrounding the council delegation completely. Their weapons were active. Their intentions were clear. "This is impossible," Torvik whispered. "Our sensors detected nothing." "Your sensors detected what we allowed them to detect," Chan replied. "Your intelligence about our capabilities was the intelligence we wanted you to have. You have been underestimating humanity since you first learned of our existence." Torvik's hands trembled. In 12,000 years, no species had ever spoken to the council this way. No species had ever dared. "What do you want?" he finally asked. "We want to be left alone," Chan said simply. "We want to expand where we choose. We want to develop our technology without interference. We want to build our own future without asking permission from anyone. And if the council refuses?" Chan's eyes hardened. "Then the council will discover what humanity is truly capable of." Silence filled the space between the fleets. Torvik looked at his tactical officer. The young male shook his head slowly. There was no escape. The humans had planned this perfectly. "I will relay your terms to the council," Torvik said finally. "Do that," Chan agreed. "And High Ambassador? Tell your council something else. Tell them that humanity is not their enemy. We have no desire for conquest, but we will not be controlled. We will not be managed. We are a species that fights for its freedom, and we have never lost that fight." The transmission ended. Torvik stood in silence for a long moment. Then he turned to his communication officer. "Send a message to the council. Tell them that the speeches they prepared are no longer relevant. Tell them that humanity has given us their answer. And tell them," he paused, looking out at the human fleet surrounding his ships. "Tell them that we may have finally met a species that does not need us." The council delegation departed without incident. They returned to council space and delivered their report. The debates that followed lasted for months. Some demanded military action. Others counseled patience. Many simply could not believe what had happened. But in the end, the council made no move against Earth. They had prepared speeches about friendship and cooperation. They had prepared presentations about their glorious history. They had prepared offers of technology and trade. Earth had prepared its fleet. And for the first time in 12,000 years, the Galactic Council was forced to accept that they were not the only power in the universe. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they had made their position perfectly clear. They would not be another species absorbed into an ancient organization. They would be something new. They would be humanity.